Good morning, Hickory Bend All-Stars. We are on lesson 18, rhythm. So originally I said we were going to take our eighth notes and mix them in with the other rhythms. But I noticed a lot of people kind of struggled with yesterday's question when I asked what type of note gets a half of a count. A lot of people said a half note, which it does make sense that people would think that because of the similarity in the wording. But the answer was actually an eighth note. So just because I don't want people to get confused and I don't want us to move forward until I'm sure that everybody is understanding everything, we're going to kind of review some of the eighth note stuff today. We're going to make a rhythm pyramid today. My fourth graders, this should be familiar to you because it was early in the year, but we did do this last fall. So this should be something you may be familiar with, you should be familiar with already. So let's go through our notes and just see how they are in relationship to one another. We're going to make a pyramid. So we start off with our whole note. Okay, and I'm going to step to this side for a second. And remember, this is how you spell a whole note. And it's going to get 4 counts. We're going to break this into 2 other notes, half notes. These are half notes, okay? This is how you spell that. Each of these gets 2 counts. 2 plus 2 equals 4. That makes sense, right? I'm going to put the 4 actually right in the middle of that whole note so we remember. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and break down the half notes. So we're going to break these into quarter notes. I'm writing kind of tiny here because we need to leave enough room for everything. So these are all quarter notes. And this will be a good help assistance for those students who are jumping in who haven't been doing the lessons all along to maybe try to help catch you up. So we know that quarter notes each get 1 count. So 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. So you see how everything is in relationship to everything else. Now, yesterday we learned about that eighth note. We said we could put them in groups of 2 or we could put them in singular. We're going to do the single version for our pyramid. So we're going to break this up here, add the flag for that single eighth note, break it up here, and break this up. It's a lot of eighth notes. And remember that word eighth is kind of a hard one to spell. Eighth note. Okay, so this gets a half, this gets a half, 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 half. So the answer to yesterday's question was, how many counts does an eighth note get? It receives a half of a count. Think about our pizza. There's 1 pizza, like a quarter note. If you split it in half, each side is like an eighth note. So a half plus a half equals 1. 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 So I would suggest writing this down on a piece of paper so that if you get confused at any time as we keep going and things are getting a little bit more developed, you can go back and look at this to help you if you get confused at all. It might help parents too, because I know particularly with the younger kids, a lot of parents are helping, and it gets pretty confusing. And then particularly if you're just jumping in. If you've been with me since beginning of April, probably not so hard because we've been going through things step by step. But if you're just jumping in right now, this does get a little bit tricky. And always feel free to ask me if you have any question. Also remember, I'm just grading you on participation and effort. So if you get an answer incorrect, it's okay. You still get the credit. I still put it in to PowerSchool as you did the participation for that day on the lesson. So getting an answer wrong, as long as you're showing effort, it's all good. Okay? All right, so Next time we come, then we'll jump back into what we were going to do today with the eighth notes getting combined with other rhythms and the other rests. But this was just a little review because I noticed some people were struggling a little bit with the question from yesterday. So hopefully that helps, and you have now a reference that you can use in case you get confused about anything. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Take care.